make fun of them. That's on them though. So I love my dad. He's a good dad. He's very, very supportive, but to a fault. Let me set the scene for you. It's my freshman year of college. I'm getting moved into the dorms. My grandma has just died, and the song "WAP" by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion just came out. It's a good, I'm ready to go. So my mom and I are like putting things away in my room. My dad is doing whatever dads do. He's like walking up to a desk and going, it's a good desk. Quality. And I'm like, I can't change it. It came with the dorm. That's it. That's the only desk I have. And then he's met my roommate maybe 20 minutes ago. My mom and I are not paying attention to him, and he just goes over next to my bed, and leans against it, and goes, "I really like the song WAP." My mother and I just go, "Well, what the fuck? What are you doing?" And he takes that as the cue to, let me continue. "I just think it's so great that women can ask what they want sexually in the bedroom now in our society." And WAP really did that. So immediately, I like look to my roommate who I've known 20 minutes, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get transferred to a different room. And I look at my mom, and my mom looks at my dad and goes, "Go into the hallway." Because she's a high school teacher, so that's first move. And my dad is like, "Okay, I'm gonna go in the hallway." So yeah, that was always a super fun thing. Love my dad. But speaking of wet ass pussy, I went to the gynecologist for the first time this past year, which is super fun and exciting. I went by myself because I don't know who you invite to the gynecologist. But I check in, I sit down, I'm waiting, I look around, and there's a bunch of pregnant women, which makes sense, and they all have like their partners with them, and I'm by myself, and I'm like, fuck, what if I'm pregnant? Like I'm a virgin, and I know that's not possible, which would make me the next Virgin Mary, which would be awkward because I'm an atheist. And they call me back, they're like filling out a form, and they're like, "Can you step on the scale to get your weight?" And I'm like, yes, I will. And I'm like looking at the nurse, and I like very, very decisively go, and she's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to know my weight. I don't need to know that. I don't need that in my head." And so of course the nurse has her clipboard, and she goes, "What, 195? You're really close to 200, aren't ya? Really pushing it there." And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." So then they take me back to the room. I meet my gynecologist. And they ask me the line of questions that everybody loves being asked, where she's like, "Are you sexually active?" And I'm like, "No." She goes, "Oh, well, have you been sexually active?" And like, she really was gonna get me with that one. Be like, "Darn, you got me." But I said no again, because the answer was no. And then they finally asked me, "Well, do you plan on becoming sexually active?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not penciled into my planner, but I'll think about it. Thanks, I guess." Doctors kind of stress me out, almost like, it's like mildly stressful, like if your dad talked to your new roommate about vaginas. But when I went to a pediatrician, I was like 14, 15, and of course they do that thing where they're like, "All right, mom, get the fuck out. I have to ask her questions." And like the door closes, and immediately they're like, "All right, did you have sex? Did you have sex?" And I'm like, "No, but not from lack of trying." She didn't like that answer. So I said, "I got more jokes, don't worry." So then she starts talking to me about, like, "Are you doing drugs?" And I said, no, I'm not cool enough for that. And she like looks me dead in the eye and she goes, this is very serious. This is not a joking matter. And I said, I'm giving you my best stuff here and you're really not appreciating what I've got going for you. It's really rude. So I don't know why I have to make doctors laugh, but then she decided to make me feel bad because she's like, do you have any questions at the end of this visit? And I was like, yeah. When are my boobs coming in? Because whatever is going on here is bullshit and really rude. Okay? She's like, well, what is your family history boob size? And I'm like, well, all the women in my family have these mega mommy milkers, and I've got these mini mommy milkers, so what the hell? And she's like, look at surgery when you're 18. Oh, y'all didn't like that. Y'all felt bad. Y'all went, oh, I'm sorry. But you know, 18, you turn 18, you're an adult. It's a big year for you. It's exciting. You go to the OBGYN for the first time. Very exciting. I went from an A cup to a B cup. I worked hard for that B cup. And then we put my dog down that year. So. Y'all didn't like grandma, but y'all were real shocked about the dog. All right. It's okay. She was really old. She smelled bad. The dog, not grandma. And so she was 14. I've had that dog longer than my sister's been alive, so we know where my loyalty lies. And we my best friend was with me during this to support me. Unfortunately, she's not the emotional rock in our relationship. So she comes up to me because we're about to take my dog to the dog hospital to kill it. And she's on the verge of tears and she's like, I'm going with you to take your dog if you want, but if you don't, I understand. And I'm like, hey, no, you're good. I've got a dead dog and a mom to worry about. I'll see you after the event. And so my mom and I load up the car with a dying dog, go on to the vets. I don't know if you have a dog, they put it on a gurney if it can't walk, which is really funny that they're like, here's the dog gurney. And I'm like, dogs can walk, all right. And so they had to strap my dog down, which was also really bizarre to me. So we get back into the room and they're talking about options, because once you kill your dog, what do you do with it? And they were like, well, we can do a private cremation where the dog is cremated by itself and you get the ashes back, or we can do a group cremation with a plethora of other animals and then bury them in our pet cemetery. I watched the movie Pet Cemetery. That didn't feel like the move to me. So I was like, private cremation. They're like, awesome, wonderful. What ash holder would you like for your dead dog? And if you guys know somebody with a dead dog, they probably have that dead dog box, this little light wood box that's love you, and it has the dog's name, and it has a lock and key because somebody's really trying to get those ashes for some reason. Or they had it was a candle warmer. Hold on. Let me just get it. Everybody say hi to my dog. Her name is Sissy. She's been dead for about a year and a half. If you're wondering if this is actually my dead dog, she's in there. If you tell me this doesn't look like a candle warmer, if you see this on a mantle, you don't think dead dog. You think, that's so pretty, and I can go, dead dog. And so I opted for that option. I was very excited to get a fancy dead dog holder. And so then my dog was a very pretty, sensible dog. She when she'd lay down, she'd cross her paws. It was really cute. They gave her the sedation because they sedate the dog and then kill them. I don't know And they're like, this is gonna work pretty quick, okay? They're being very calm and considerate. My mom and I like cracking jokes. And they're like, okay. And so they inject her with the sedation, and she just goes, like full, and I'm like, oh shit. Is that it? And they're like, no, she's still alive. I'm like, she doesn't look alive. So then they put the dog down. I'm crying. My mom's crying. It's very sad. And then they leave the room, and now I'm left with my mom, me, and a dead dog. And we suddenly remember my grandfather's blanket that we brought the dog in is under the dog still. Y'all are worried. Y'all are like, oh no. And so my mom and I are like, we have to get this blanket back. So now it's 2 women in an empty room in a vet hospital and a dead dog. And my mom comes over, unstraps my dog's dead body, and I grab the blanket and we go, all right, we're gonna do the worst magic trick you've ever seen. 1, 2, 3, and we pull the blanket out and we just see her body like. So then I have the blanket and I'm like, oh shit, I should get her collar too. So I get her collar, we're walking out, and I look at my mom and I go, all right, when I get to the lobby, I'm gonna throw the collar. Whichever dog it lands on is the one to die next. She didn't like the idea, she didn't hate it. So then we head out to the car, it's very sad, and my mom checks her phone, and my best friend has texted and said, hey, I know now's not the best time. How do you feel about pizza? And then in a separate text bubble, Domino's? And so then my mom and I are cracking up about that, and then my dad calls, because my dad wasn't there. And we're like crying and laughing, so when we answer the phone, he's like, hi, what's happening? Is she dead? And we're like, yeah, she's dead. Domino, we're getting pizza. Because the dog is dead, so we're getting pizza. So everybody say goodnight to Sissy. Thank you